Welcome back. Let's start today's another chapter Flamingo Deep Water by William Douglas. Student, this is an autobiography of William Douglas where he had shared his own experience of childhood and young age. That how do he overcome his phobia? Many of them must be having some phobia height, darkness, anything. Here, the writer William Douglas is discussing about his hydrophobia. This is again an important chapter of 12th class. Here are the characters and places. First of all, we are being introduced by the narrator of the story, William Douglas. He is talking about a pool, YMCA, which means Young Men's Christians Association. He is also talking about a river, that is Yakima. Yakima is a US city located about 60 miles southeast of Mount Rainier in Washington, and this is also the name of a river, Yakima River. Let's have an introduction. In this story, Douglas talks about his fear of water, and you can say hydrophobia, and how he finally overcomes it with a strong willpower, courage, hard work, and firm determination. Once he took courage, the fear vanished. That shows most of our fears are baseless. Fear creates dangers where there is none. The writer's experiences further confirm the proverbial truth where there is a will, there is a way. Let's start the summary. The writer narrates his experience. He was 10 or 11 years old when he had joined the YMCA swimming pool to learn swimming. First, he discussed his desire, and his mother instructed him not to go to Yakima River as Yakima River is being considered as dangerous and cheated. It has taken the lives of so many people. So when he desired his feelings with his mother suggested him to join only YMCA pool that is considered as a safe place for the young children to learn swimming. So, on being instructed by his mother, he did go to the Yakima River to swim, as it was considered dangerous. This shows that he had a prior fear of water. William's father would warn him not to go near the Yakima River and would discuss the various incidents of drowning. He felt that the pool at YMCA was quite safe. The shallow area of the pool was 2 or 3 feet deep, while the deep area was 9 feet in depth. The slope from the shallow area to the deep area was not steep. He also got a pair of water wings to prevent drowning. He did not hire any instructor. He did not like to wear the swimming costume which exposed his thin legs, but as he was keen to swim, he gave up his self-respect and wore it. William says that he had always disliked water and recounts an older experience when he was 3 or 4 years old. It is an important part. He went to the beach in California with his father. They stood as a wave leaped towards them. William stuck to his father to save himself, but the strong wave threw him down and he was covered in water. He was scared as he could not breathe. His father laughed and tried to make him feel comfortable, but the little child was scared when he realized that the waves were so powerful. It was for the first time for a small kid, Douglas, that he imagined he came to know that water is very much powerful. When Williams joined the swimming pool at the YMCA, the fear of water resurfaced in his mind. But somehow he gathered confidence by watching other boys swim and tried to copy them. He had done this twice or thrice at different occasions and had started gaining confidence when the incident or misfortune happened. He had a narrow escape from death. When William reached the pool one day, no one was there, and so he sat on the edge waiting for other boys to arrive. because he didn't want to enter the pool alone. He was afraid to swim all alone in the pool, as the swimming pool was empty. William could see the bottom also. It had white colored tiles on it and looked white and clean like a bathtub. It had not been long since William had been sitting by the pool when a boy arrived, a bully type of a boy. He was around 18 years of age, had a well built body with rippling muscles. He seemed to be a bully. He asked William if he wanted to be thrown into the pool. By saying this, he didn't wait for the reply. He just picked up William and threw him into the deep end of the swimming pool. Deep end means 9 feet. William landed on the surface of the pool in the same position as he had been sitting in. His mouth was open, as he did not know swimming. He swallowed water as he sank into the pool. He was frightened, but he used his intelligence and on his way down the pool planned to push himself up when he reached the bottom. He thought that he would make a big jump to the surface, lie on his back and swim to the edge of the pool. William took a long time to reach the bottom of the pool. It seemed that the depth was 90 feet instead of 9 feet. He could not hold his breath and felt as if his lungs would burst. When his feet touched the bottom of the pool, he gathered all his strength and jumped upwards. He had thought that the next moment he would come out of the pool, but the opposite happened. All his planning went waste. His movement upwards was slow, and when he opened his eyes, he saw water all around, which was yellowish in color. Earlier, which was quite clear to him, the water which was appearing to him transparent became yellowish in color because of the fear. William got scared and tried to grab something, a rope which would help him reach the edge of the pool, but he got nothing other than water. William was at loss of breath and tried to scream for help, but no sound came out of his mouth. His nose and eyes came out of the water, but his mouth remained in it. William waved his hands at the surface of the water for help, but he swallowed water and choked himself. He tried to pull his legs up, but they were very heavy and lifeless. He felt that something was pulling him towards the depth of the pool. He screamed, but his voice did not go out of water. Once again, William started going down towards the bottom of the pool. You can imagine his situation. William tried to save himself from drowning in the pool and tried to grab something, but as there was water all around, he could not do so. He compares his situation to a person who sees a nightmare. This is an important description. And fights. Just imagine himself when in a dream having a nightmare. We try to fight with the situation, but we cannot move our hands or legs to make us free. So he was feeling the same situation. It was just like a nightmare, and he was trying to fight against the dreadful dream but is unable to ward it off. William became breathless. He felt pain in his lungs, and his head felt a sensation of beating. He was getting unconscious, but he could recollect the plan to save himself. As his feet touched the bottom, he would take a leap. He was again and again trying to do the same as he was planning, that whenever he would be able to touch the bottom, he would just take a leap and jump up to the surface in a zephyr. Then he would lie on his back, hit the rocks with his limbs, and reach to the edge of the pool to safety. William sank into the pool, and the journey downward seemed endless. He opened his eyes. There was water all around. It had a yellowish glow, and he could not see through it. This terrorized William. He says that his feeling cannot be explained, but it can only be understood by those who have experienced a similar situation. Underline this. He was screaming in the water. He was unable to move due to the fear. His screams, then the situation came when his screams also got froze. Only his heart beat and the beating in his head indicated that he was alive. In between the phase of terror, William recollected the plan that he had to take a jump as he touched the bottom of the pool. As he felt the tiles of the bottom of the pool, his feet used all the strength he had, and he jumped up. The effort went in vain once again. He was still submerged in the water. He looked around for help, for any rope, ladder, or water wing, with the help of which he could rescue himself. Even he was crying for his mother to come and to help him, but he could only see water all around him. It was as if a chunk of yellow water had grabbed him. The terror grew intense. It was like an electric shock that ran through the whole body. He trembled with fright. He could neither move his limbs nor call out for help. Then something strange happened. After some time, William saw light. His eyes came out of the water. His nose was almost out of it. Then he started going downwards into the pool for the third time. He tried to breathe but gulped water instead. The light went out as he drowned again. Then he stopped making efforts to save himself. William relaxed. His legs became lifeless and his brain experienced a blackout. The fear ended. He did not panic. He became quiet and experienced peace. He was not afraid of drowning anymore. This was a situation when he was feeling sleepy. The situation comes when we got fainted. He felt sleepy, was tired to jump up. He was feeling nice to be carried in his mother's arms as he felt sleepy. William became unconscious as he drifted away towards death. When William gained consciousness, he was lying on his stomach beside the pool and was vomiting. He heard someone scolding the boy who had pushed him into the pool. The voice said that William had almost died. And the boy replied that he was fooling with him. He was just kidding. The voice asked the boy to carry William to the locker room. After many hours, William walked home. He felt weak and shivered. He kept on crying as he lay on the bed. He was unable to eat food. The fear kept on haunting him for many days. The incident made him physically upset. The slightest work made him feel that his knees were unable to bear his weight. He would feel like vomiting. William did not go to the swimming pool as he feared the water. He remained away from water. After some years, William came to know of a waterfall and wanted to go in it. Whenever he went for swimming pool in different rivers like the Theoton, Pumping River, Warm Lake of the Goat Rocks, the fear of water returned, which has destroyed all his trips. The fear used to grab him completely, disable his limbs and grab his heart. The fear of water remained with William as he grew up. On the boating trips to different lakes in the Maine region, New Hampshire, Deschutes, Metolius, Columbia Pumping Lake, where he fished different varieties of fish, namely salmon, bass, and trout, the fear followed him. His fishing trips were destroyed as he did not enjoy boating and swimming due to the fear. William tried to ward off the fear but was unable to get rid of it. Finally, in the month of October, he hired an instructor to teach him swimming because he became fed up with his hydrophobia. He would practice for an hour each day, 5 days a week. This is again an important part, student, how he overcome his phobia. William described completely the learning process. The instructor put a belt around William's waist. The belt was attached to a thick rope. The rope went through an overhead pulley and was held by the instructor. It ensured that in case William drowned, the instructor would pull him out. William swam across the length of the pool for several weeks. Whenever the instructor loosened the rope, he went down into the water and the fear would return. It would immobilize his legs. It was after 3 months of practice that William got comfortable. It took 3 months to aside his fear of water. Then the instructor taught him to breathe in the water. He taught him to put his face under the water and exhale his breath. He was taught to raise his nose out of the water and inhale. William practiced several times. Gradually, he got rid of the panic that would grab him when he put his head under the water. In the third phase of the learning process, the instructor taught William to kick the water surface with his legs. He did this for many weeks. Initially, his legs did not move, but gradually they relaxed, and finally, William could order them to kick in the desired way. Finally, the instructor made a swimmer out of William in phases. When William had perfected each phase, he compiled them. In the month of April, the instructor told William that now he could swim. He asked him to dive into the pool and swim the length of the pool in a particular style called the crawl stroke. William swam, and the classes came to an end. William had not overcome the fear yet and wondered if the terror would grab him when he would be alone in the water. To check it, he tried to swim alone in the pool. The terror returned in small phases, but now, as he knew how to swim, he faced the terror with confidence. He swam another length of the pool. William swam like this till the month of July, but was not satisfied. He wanted to be sure that all of the fear had left him. So he went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire, dived into it from Triggs Island, and swam for 2 miles up to Stampback Island. He swam in different styles: crawl, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. The terror returned only once, when he was in the middle of the lake. When he put his head under the water, he saw water all around, and the fear returned. But this time, William was able to laugh at the terror, and he could say to it that it could not harm him, and he addressed Terror, Mr. Terror. He saw that the terror vanished. He resumed swimming. William still had some doubt about the fear, so he hurried towards the western direction. He went up the Theodon, reached Conard Meadows, walked up the Conard Creek Trail to Muddy Glaciers. He crammed up at the meadow by the warm lake. The next morning, he wore the swimming costume and dived into the lake. He swam across it to the other end and returned just like the famous American Doc Cobbin used to do. William shouted with joy as he had overcome his fear. His voice resounded as the mountain peak named Gilbert Peak reverberated it. He had overcome the fear. The experience had a great importance in William's life. He realized this is an important part, students. Note it down. He realized that death was peaceful and only the fear of death was fearful. He realized that death was peaceful, only the fear of death was fearful. He recollects the word of one of the presidents of America, Roosevelt. Roosevelt had said that all we have to fear is fear itself. What? All we have to fear is fear itself. As William had experienced death and the fear of death, his desire to live grew more. To live grew immensely. He felt released from fear and was free to walk up the trails and climb up the mountains fearlessly. Now you need to complete all NCRT questions. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay home. Save lives.